Hi, it's Luis Macanza de Silva from IbogaHealingExperience.com. Macanza is my given name from the Witi tradition, given to me by the spirits. I'm here today in this beautiful setting in my favorite place ever, and it's in front of a fire. I wanted to talk to you about before and after my personal Iboga healing experience. Prior to having my Iboga experience, I was diagnosed with PTSD, major depression. I lived on about $1,500 worth of pharmaceutical drugs per month. Used a lot of street drugs, and that actually came to a halt. Actually, at the end, nothing was helping at all. I was poor existence. Basically, I was just living, and it came to the point where it was either I was gonna live or I was gonna die, and I was making the choice up quickly. I did not want to live anymore. The only reason that stopped me from taking action was my children, and I couldn't do it. But on the other hand, I couldn't continue living the way I was living either, because that wasn't good for them either. I had to make a decision. So I had met a man at a barbecue. His name was Muganda, and he told me he could fix me up in a week. And like most people, you'd probably say, yeah, right, sure, buddy. And 2 years later, after suffering even harder, and not being able to do anything, just couldn't be intimate, couldn't live. I was a poor existence as a human being. I was just there. I was a body. And then finally, I finished my produce season, because I worked in produce for about 30 years, and finished up with the apples, and made a decision that it was time. It was time to do something. So I called Buganda and told him I needed to come. So I went down and did my experience. He basically told me that, what took you so long? You wasted 2 years of your life to come down to me. Because you wasted 2 years, and that's what stuck in my head. And I did my experience, and when I came out of it, I realized that I really wasted 2 years that I'll never get back. Prior to the 8 years ahead of that, that's 10 years I wasted. So I had my experience, and one of the things you notice right away is how clean you are. Because all those pills leave you full of toxins. And when you clear out all those toxins, your skin feels a whole lot better. Your eyes feel amazing. You can go to the bathroom a lot easier because you don't have anything plugging you up. And once I left there and came home, I had a lot clearer mind. A little leery of people when I first came back, and that's okay. Because I felt so pure, like reborn, and I needed some time for me. I needed some time to regroup and find myself, and I did. I took 6 months for me. Quit my job, spent as much time as I could with my children, and it was really good. I thought it was going to be a lot better, but it took some adjustments. It took a lot of adjustment, but I had the tools to do the work. I knew that my choices were my choices, and I had the right to say no. Because prior to that, you don't have the confidence to say no, because you always know something's wrong, so you don't want to disappoint others. And the biggest thing was I was disappointing myself, so disappointing my soul. So now that I was connected with my soul, I realized that it's time for me. But one of the things I did was I bought a cushion for my CRV. I pushed the seats down, and I would go out in wilderness, and I was just open up the hatch and lie in the back and just enjoy. Fall asleep even. I could never do that prior because I had allergies, and that's one of the other things that Iboga cleared was my allergies. I could actually sit out in nature and enjoy myself, and not get my eyes all puffy and full of pus and sneeze and can't breathe and all that. I was finally enjoying nature, enjoying life again. So I enjoyed my 6 months. I enjoyed outside, going to the cottage, going anywhere. It was fun. I got to enjoy myself again. But there was realities, because prior to doing the experience and using all those pharmaceuticals, I had also abused drugs and drank way too much. And I self-medicated. And I realized that I couldn't go back down that road either. So I understood the choices, and I understood what I could and could not do. And I decided not to. I'd have the odd drink, that's fine, but I knew my limitations. I knew my choices, and I knew if I kept going down that road, one thing will lead to another, and I chose not to. And I still to this day choose not to. Those are my choices, and but now it's about enjoying, not being on pharmaceutical drugs and not being able to taste food. I like food a lot. I love cooking, and I got to actually enjoy it again, and not doing it for others, but enjoying the fact that I really love food, and I love cooking, and all those passions that I had. I get out to bike riding, which I loved as a child, and went out and bought myself a bike, and off I go. It's the simple things in life that we take for granted, and I've decided to go back, reroute myself back to those simpler times, and enjoy again. So sitting here in front of this fire is probably one of the best things I like to do, is sit on the fire. We use fire in ceremony with Iboga, and we generally can see things in fire, and I just like sitting in front of fire because it's simple. It's real simple, and I like others to come around in ceremony, because that's one of the things I want to do for people. People can say a lot of things, but the main thing is I never want anyone to suffer the way I suffered. Long time. From my home invasion till the day I called the hospital to come get me because I was completely suicidal, ending up in a mental health facility on a ton of medication. That's no road for anybody. And my children actually had to watch their father fall apart, and I don't wish that on any other parent and any other child, because my kids have had to deal with that, and they had to watch it, and I don't ever want that to happen to anyone else. So I encourage you to come to Iboga Healing Experience and try it, and dig deep, and you're going to find some serious results. You're going to find things that you had no idea existed, and just come on by, sit around the fire with me.